Hello to everyone. This is Viewpoint on Noyan Tapan TV, and I am Benyamin Poghosyan. Today we will discuss the diversification of Armenian foreign policy. This issue is being debated for quite a long time, and there are a lot of arguments that Armenia should think about diversification of its foreign policy. The idea behind this argument is the fact that the foreign policy before 2020 focused solely or almost solely on Russia did not bring the results which everyone hoped. The 2020 war and also the Azerbaijani later incursion into Armenia in May 2021, November 2021 and September 2022 proved that Russia was not able to fully realize its security guarantees toward Armenia. Of course, we can speak about different reasons why this happened. Some may argue that okay, Russia after February 2022 fights against a huge coalition of more than 50 countries, and among them the most powerful countries in the world like United States, United Kingdom, all EU NATO members, US Asian allies such as Japan, South Korea, Australia, even New Zealand. So Russia objectively is not in a position to fully fulfill its security obligations toward Armenia. Of course, we may also ask, but in that case, why, when Azerbaijan attacked Armenia in May 2021 or November 2021, Russia's actions also were not very quick and were not those actions which Armenia is supposed to receive. However, regardless of the reasons behind the Russian lack of actions, and we have to say that especially after February 2022, it's clearly reasonable to argue that Russia objectively is not in a position to fully fulfill its security obligations toward Armenia. It became clear that Armenia should diversify its foreign and security policy. Here there is one important question which we must address. Does this diversification automatically means that Armenia should become a hostile nation toward Russia or should take actions against Russia? I strongly believe that no. Armenia's defense and security diversification, defense and security policy diversification, has nothing to do with transforming Armenia into an anti-Russian state or transforming Armenia into the bulwark of the West against Russia. And any perceptions in Russia about this potential scenario, they lack any evidence. Meanwhile, while speaking about diversification, we should also understand that Armenia should look what partners it has to diversify. So first of all, maybe we can say that okay, Armenia should deepen its relation with Euro-Atlantic community, United States, other NATO member states, EU, etc. However, due to the war in Ukraine, any significant improvement of defense and security cooperation between Armenia and the West definitely will trigger backlash from Russia. And in this case, it will become clear, or at least in Russia, many experts and also political circles may think that yes, diversification of Armenia's foreign policy means Armenia becoming anti-Russia, becoming hostile nation towards Russia. Another option, of course, could be the deepening of security cooperation with the Islamic Republic of Iran. And recently, Armenia's National Security Council Secretary visited Iran and had a meeting with Mr. Shamkhani, the head of his counterpart, the Security Council of Iran. Of course, Armenia should develop its relation with Iran, especially as Iran is the only power which has clearly stated that any change of borders of Armenia is not acceptable for Iran, and also make some steps hinting that theoretically, at least theoretically, it may also use military force to prevent the change of borders of Armenia. However, too much close relations with Iran also are complicated. Why? Because from the collective West perspective, especially as Iran and Russia started to deepen their military cooperation, Iran providing drones to the Russia and also Iran buying military jets from Russia, and now there are discussions that maybe Iran even will buy a S-400 anti-missile and air defense system from Russia. From the Western perspective, Iran is almost as bad actor as Russia. So significantly improved or significantly deepened security and defense ties with Iran may definitely negatively impact Armenia-West relations, including Armenia-US, Armenia-EU, Armenia-NATO. So in this context, probably the only solution which both will provide Armenia with some access to the new technologies, new weapons, and will increase Armenia's defense capabilities, and also will not trigger backlash both from Armenian Western partners and also Armenia's ally Russia, is India. Because India is a strategic partner of the United States, is a member of Quad, India is a member of this newly established I2U2 alliance, United States, United Arab Emirates, India, Israel, but also India is a strategic partner of Russia. Despite all calls and all pressure, India did not impose sanctions on Russia, even more. For example, in 2022, India increased 33 times the import of Russian oil, which means that India is keeping its balance and pursuing a balanced foreign policy. So most probably, in the short term at least, the deepening of defense cooperation with India is a way for Armenia to diversify its defense and foreign policy. And Armenia needs to diversify its defense and security foreign policy. Again, not because Armenia wants to become an anti-Russia or Armenia wants to become a Western bulwark against Russia, but because objectively, and this is also the assessment of Russian experts, Russia, due to the war in Ukraine, is not able to fully fulfill its security obligations toward Armenia. So in this scenario, if Russia will say no, Armenia should do nothing, it will sound a little bit strange, because otherwise, okay, if Russia is not able to fully fulfill its security obligations toward Armenia, while Armenia is under constant threat by Azerbaijan for attacks, for these salami tactics, incursions, and also we see what's going on in Nagorno-Karabakh, when Azerbaijan simply ignores the International Court of Justice decision for approximately more than 1 month and approximately 120 days. Nagorno-Karabakh Armenians are under the blockade. Then definitely to assume that Armenia should do nothing and simply should wait and hope that Azerbaijan will have a goodwill, this also sounds very strange advice. So summarizing, I will say that yes, Armenia needs to diversify its foreign and defense and security policy. Diversification of Armenia's foreign and security policy does not mean that Armenia will become an anti-Russian state, that Armenia will become a hostile nation to Russia, or Armenia will become some Western bulwark against Russia. Diversification of Armenia's security and defense policy simply means that Armenia should take care of providing necessary security to itself. Also given the fact, and this is objective fact, that Russia is not able to fulfill its security commitments towards Armenia, to fully fulfill its security commitments towards Armenia due to the war in Ukraine. This is all for today, and we will meet soon.